Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's. Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Kelly is kind enough to join us once again on this Monday morning in New York City. Miss Loeffler, how are you? Good Monday morning.
Well, good morning, Sid. I'm delighted to be on with y'all today. And yes, that was an epic cabinet meeting. Once again, our 12th since President Trump started his second term. And I love that they're all on television. So glad you watched it.
No, it's great theater. It's great TV, and you get to know some of you guys. You know, you hear the names, but to see Marco and like even the little things like writing stuff down on paper or scratching their nose or whatever it is, you get to see you guys in action. And President Trump just kind of sitting there looking around and nodding at people and shaking his head. It's the 12th one now, so now they're easy. Were you ever intimidated the first time you sat in that room with him?
Well, Sid, of course, I will tell you, you walk into that room, it's so historic. And the president over the last couple of months has made it more and more beautiful. And the press is there. And, you're with your colleagues and everyone's excited to talk about what they're doing. And so you just hope to have the opportunity to share that with everyone. And I was really grateful I got to share with the president the work that he has put in and the results. So that's mainly, we all want to show up and be able to talk to the American people directly about the results, because that's what the fake news won't tell you, is exactly what's going on the ground. And that's what's incredible about this cabinet. We're all private sector people. We love to come in, report on results, and then get back out on the road. In fact, I left that night for Arizona with Brooke Rollins to go to a cotton farm.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar. I've got a friend who works with J.D. Vance and with Brooke. Was actually in Maine a couple of weeks ago. What was President Trump doing that night? It was something big. Oh, he was here. He was here in Rockland County with Mike Lawler, and J.D. the night before had this big rally in Maine and, checking out the cotton farms. And Brooke Rollins does a terrific job, too. So the last time you were here, you were cooking. Small business was cooking. The economy was cooking. The numbers were starting to improve dramatically. It just felt like Trump 2016 again. Then, of course, started the war, which I was all for. Still am. The whole Iran conflict, but we know what's going on with the economy since that war started. And we keep hearing the same thing, Kelly, from Trump and you, quite frankly, and others, which is, hey, look, when the war's over, everything's coming back. Price is going to come down. Small businesses will do well again. We keep hearing that, and I believe it's true. I really do, in my heart of hearts, believe it's true. But you do understand that Americans, even some really rabid Trump supporters, are a little nervous, a little bit.
Sid, I understand. The president understands, and we are monitoring the numbers day to day. And one of the things that we are very focused on, obviously, is price levels. So you think about inflation has ticked up. Core inflation has been more steady when you strip out the volatile energy prices, which hopefully as this peace agreement comes into frame, we get a sense of where those prices are going. Oil has a 9 handle now. The energy markets are predicting it to drop dramatically in the next few months, which is good news. But in the meantime, we understand there's real world impacts. However, that has not gotten in the way of what President Trump is driving, which is really a new economic boom that really starts with small business, because small businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs. In the last 2 months, we've seen job numbers of 313,000 private sector jobs added. And so nothing says confidence like bringing on that employee to work for you, to train them, to give them benefits. And in fact, we now have record business starts in this country. Never before in the history of America have we had 400,000, 500,000 starts consistently month after month since the start of the year. That takes real confidence, because you're putting your money on the line and starting a new enterprise. So I think people understand this is short term, And we're building for the long term because we've got the tax cuts, deregulation, fair trade that are really the tailwinds on all of this.
Just had my boss in studio, John Katzimatidis. He loves you too. Great guy. He talked about how...
Say Katz, hello.
Yeah, I will. And he talked about the big businesses, whether it's at Amazon, one of those places, what that means to the small businesses in and around them, which is huge. That's why AOC is such a moron when she voted against Amazon coming to Queens. But when you look at what's happening, Kelly, in a city like mine in New York, where the mayor wants to tax just about everything and he's making life miserable for people who should be, quite frankly, who should be rewarded, they're inspiring, people who made billions of dollars, whether it's Ken Griffin or John Katzimatidis or Bill Ackman or President Trump. Instead, he's turning these people into criminals, into villains, and they're leaving. They're taking their businesses elsewhere. So it seems to me, Kelly, like we may have just a couple of states, if you will, that will be doing big, big business because all these DSA, these Democrats, these psycho mayors are forcing successful businesses to leave some of our biggest states.
They are. This is a political agenda. This is a choice. They want those folks to leave so that they can win political points with their base. It's kind of similar to fraud. They want to perpetuate fraud in government because that's how they keep their base engaged, by letting them rip off hardworking taxpayers. So it's a bit of fraud on the American people when you chase your biggest employers out of the state, your biggest taxpayers who are funding all the infrastructure. And that's true in New York. It's true in California, Washington State, Illinois, hundreds of thousands of people and hundreds of businesses pouring out of those states with billions and billions of tax dollars leaving. And those are losses those are people that aren't coming back. So this is what I see as I go across the country. I talk to small businesses in New York. They have a set of problems that's very different from the small businesses I might talk to down in Florida or Georgia. And, some of the problems in the South are more related to growth, and I need to hire people. And in New York, it's like I got the county walking in telling me I didn't hang my lights right, and I got to buy more fluorescent lighting So they're just getting picked on. The smallest, the big guys will be okay. They're going to relocate. The small business that is providing service in their local community in the Bronx or wherever they might be located in Staten Island and Queens, they can't just pick up and move. And so they're under attack by an activist government that doesn't believe in the American dream or in free enterprise.
So the question becomes then, Kelly, what's the fix? What do you tell those people in Brooklyn who, like you said, are being picked on and hounded and made miserable by this crazy DSA mayor? What do you tell those people?
Well, we're doing in the Trump administration what we can do with cutting taxes, deregulating, making sure that they have a voice wherever we can, particularly in the working family tax cuts that benefited small businesses tremendously and New Yorkers with the expanded SALT deductions. So trying to make some of that more palatable, but at the end of the day, what we can do is provide a voice. But also, I would just say that this president understands that hardworking Americans deserve someone in Washington that is fighting to protect the taxpayer dollars that they do pay, no matter where they live. And that's why we've taken on this investigation into fraud across the country. And unfortunately, some of the blue states, blue cities, are the worst offenders. So the least we can do is make sure that their taxpayer dollars we have good stewardship of them, and that as many dollars as they can stay in their own pockets. But if they have to send them to Washington, they're going to be spent wisely.
Yeah, on the way out, Kelly, the amount of impressive people in Trump's administration working on fraud. Lee Zeldin, he uncovered a ton of fraud with the EPA. I know you know that. Then you've got J.D. Vance. He's out there every day trying to uncover fraud. Dr. Oz, right here in New York with Medicare and Medicaid. Even my friend, the former Congressman Anthony D'Esposito with the Labor Department, he's uncovered billions in fraud. That's a lot of money. All four of these guys, and there are more, looking at this every day, they've all uncovered billions of dollars, Kelly. That's a lot of money.
Sid, we found $22 billion at the SBA in PPP loans that were fraudulently obtained that the Biden administration knew about, tried to give de facto amnesty to the people that they knew were fraudsters, ripping off small businesses. And so we're prosecuting. We're going through Treasury for collections and the DOJ. And we're going
is that still right?
state.
I know Jim Jordan in Congress was on top of that. He still is?
Oh, everyone's looking at it. This is an approach. It's in Congress. I'm part of the JD's Vice President Vance's task force, and we are going to go root and branch and make sure that it doesn't happen again. This is the key. We have to have deterrence, and we have to have accountability, and we have to try to get as much money of that back. But in the first place, we should never let it go out the door. And that's what I think Congress is going to work on. That's what each of us at our agencies are working on now.